All right, guys, for our next card, you've got a quarter piece, roughly, of Pretty Peacock. So die cut the label and then the outline flower. And then you also have your scrap of white, those two half sheets from the very beginning. Die cut one of each of these. I also embossed the labels with the Scripty embossing folder. So let me show you how this card is going to go together. We're going to start with a piece of Pretty Peacock as our card base. I'm going to take and I will eventually adhere this panel. I also am going to die cut two pieces of printed paper. I've got this piece that has kind of the lighter shades, and then this one has some darker shades in it. So I'm going to take and adhere this. And by the way, they're 5 inches across, but they are 2 by 5 inches. Okay, so I'm going to go and ahead and adhere these to our card, or to the white panel, I should say. And you can see I have a little excess, which I'll trim off. All right, I'm also going to take, and I need a length of my ribbon, actually 2 ribbons. So I'm going to start with this ribbon, and I'm just going to, actually I am going to, whoops, where did my snail go? I'm going to tack this down kind of on the border between the 2 layers. So I will put this piece down like so, and then I'm going to glue dot it on the back. So that'll give me plenty of adhesive to keep this on. I do like putting that snail down just because it gives a little bit more stability to the placement of everything. Then I'm also going to take my ribbon, and this is going to go right over the top. So I'll cut that length. And then I'm going to just leave like a 1/4 of an inch, give or take. And once again, I'll put another length of my snail. Again, this is just to kind of use as a way to tack this down. And I'll just tack that down. And then, of course, we're going to put that ribbon across. This will get glue dotted. We'll put the ribbon across on top of those 2. And just kind of a pretty little look. Now on this one, I'm going to use my white label and my Pretty Peacock flower. And then you just center this across those 2. You just want to make sure there's not a gap, between them. But that should fit pretty nicely like so. Isn't that beautiful? I love layering the ribbons on here. That was kind of where I got the idea to do it on that card previously. Okay, now I'm going to take my beautiful label, and actually I'm going to adhere this to my card first. I'm going to put one more glue dot because that one's just not quite wanting to stay, and I really don't want it to move. I don't want this card getting any ideas of its own, Okay, so we'll adhere that. It's so pretty. Okay, and then I'm going to pop this layer up, my label, I should say. And that is great use for these edge pieces. Okay. So we'll put this off to the side just a bit. Okay, and then I'm going to add this with simply a glue dot. Now you can embellish this with a variety of things. You can use a pearl, a rhinestone, whatever you have handy. I'm going to do a pearl because I just think that would be really pretty on here. But it's up to you, whatever floats your boat. And I'm going to use the biggest to put right in the center there. Okay, now I want to add a little sentiment here, so I'm going to do the hello, and I'm going to do that in Pretty Peacock ink. And we'll just add that right there. And isn't that just so pretty? I mean, it's so simple, but it's really pretty, and I like all the little extra touches. Now, I wanted to mention something actually before we do our next version of this card, and that was coming back to our previous card. We had stained this pretty well with that raspberry ink. So I'm going to take my stamp cleaning pad. This is for cleaning stained photopolymer, just like this. So I'm kind of rubbing and cleaning like you would on your regular cleaner. Okay, and you can already see it's much lighter. I'm going to take then, and you want to wash this cleaning substance off. And so I'll put it in here like so, and then that has gotten rid of, you can see how much lighter that is. That's gotten rid of a ton of that staining, so that when you go to put it into a light color of ink like we did with the Pool Party ink, then you won't have a problem. Okay, that was our intermission. Back to this card. All right, we're going to do the same thing, only changing it up a little bit. So I will take my Pretty Peacock card base once again. This time I'm going to add this pattern to the bottom here. And I'm going to, and my strip is just a little off, so we'll trim that down slightly. This time I'm just going to do the one ink or the one ribbon going across here. And you can even just cut it at an angle and go directly across, like as in not flip it around to the back side. Do you know what I mean? So we're going to go ahead and do that. I'll still adhere it to my card as always. And then I'll run my snail right across there and place this just like so. Okay, so that looks fantastic. I love it. Now I've got my label. We just want to make sure we place that on top here in the right orientation so the words are not upside down. You know what I mean? So we'll get that going. And then we'll add our flower, this time in white, and add a little sentiment. I do love the layout of this because it is really simple. And of course, you could do this in any color combination. So using this, this neutral greenery patterned paper, you can do different flowers on top here. You could change up the colors of your card base and then your flower here, and then likewise with your label and your card base here. So any color combination would do. And then I'm actually going to show you one additional version of this, and it's actually where I got the idea for this card. I changed it up slightly, as you'll see. But this other card is really simple as well. Where did my pearls go? Oh, they're just right here. So I'll place a pearl in the center. And then I think I'm actually going to stamp Blessed right here because I've got enough room. So we'll just stamp Blessed right over that. And that's kind of the beauty of this paper too, is if you use a nice dark color of ink, you can stamp right on top of the printed paper and it will still show up really nicely. So there we go. Sorry, I forgot. Here's the other version of the card I wanted to show you. So you can see this uses just a little bit different ribbon. This is from the Magnolia combo pack of ribbon, and then the sentiment is from the floral is it Floral Essence or Perennial Essence stamp set. So just a little different, but very similar.